for an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions. Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on Global Televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to a news cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyag Mofwegwe. As part of efforts to expand its footprints in the broadcast media industry, Global Television will officially launch on DSTV channel 365 starting from tomorrow, 18th July 2024. This landmark achievement follows consistent efforts by the management of Global Television to broaden its reach and deepen media participation in national development and global affairs. Managing Director, Global Television, Dr. Ibrahim Biu, speaks on the importance of this milestone.
It has not been easy. It has been a very, very long journey, right from Nigeria to South Africa to Spain. They all know us for the past 1 year. It has been tremendous pushing, commitment, discussion, evaluating our content, evaluating our technical capability before we now reach a point of being allocated a channel 365 on DSTV. We all know that DSTV has a monopoly in the Nigerian industry. So finally we have succeeded in getting to be on DSTV channel. Platform. So with that, we'll do our best to see that we work towards unity of our country, peaceful coexistence of our country, in terms of news and other programs that will enhance and develop our country. So we are on DSTV channel 365 as from tomorrow, Thursday, 18th.
Global Television is a 24-hour news and current affairs channel, capital of Nigeria, Abuja. Meanwhile, the management of Global Television has paid a courtesy visit to the Nigerian Television Authority as part of efforts to establish cooperation. Managing Director and Chief Executive of Global Television, Dr. Ibrahim Biu, stated his commitment to contributing to the peace and development of Nigeria through the media. Queen Agaba has the rest of the report.
The Managing Director of Global Television, Ibrahim Biu, paid a courtesy visit to the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority at the NTA headquarters in Abuja. The visit aimed to foster stronger ties between the two media organizations, explore potential areas of collaboration, professional assistance, and to tap from the wealth of experience of the NTA.
We pay a courtesy call to NTA, knowing fully that NTA is the epicenter of broadcasting industry, not only in Nigeria but in Africa.
Thank you very much.
So we feel that we need to have a touch with you as a big brother to advise us in the industry, to see the area of cooperation, to see the area of support, and to see how we can move on together.
In response, the Director General, NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, represented by the Managing Director, News, Ayodele Adewuyi, assured Global Television of its support and cooperation in areas they deem fit. Describing Global Television as one to be reckoned with, Ayodele urged the management not to hesitate in contacting NTA for assistance.
This is a good tidings for broadcast world in Nigeria.
want to believe that with your dedication, commitment, and with the help of Almighty Allah, we succeed. And Global Television will be one to be reckoned with in the media space. Please, you'll be feel free to contact us to anytime. Areas that you may not have access to, that we will have access to, areas I think we'll be able to cooperate, exchange content, so that for the benefit of the populace generally.
Global Television, a news and current affairs station, has finalized plans to start their DSTV streaming service on Channel 365 and all multi-choice platforms from Thursday, 18th July 2024. Global Television, a news and current affairs station, has finalized plans to start their streaming service on DSTV Channel 365 and all multi-choice platforms from Thursday, 18th July 2024. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Let's turn to other stories now. President Bola Tinubu has forwarded to the Senate for consideration and approval the injection of 6.2 trillion naira into the 27.5 trillion naira 2024 budget. The president in the report read on the floor of the Senate by its president, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary today, specifically sought for withdrawal of 3.2 trillion naira from the Consolidated Revenue Fund for capital expenditure. The president, in the second leg of the request, sought for withdrawal of 3 trillion naira from the Consolidated Revenue Fund for additional recurrent expenditure for the year ending on December 31, 2024. The federal government has predicted that 94 towns across some states in the country are at risk of a 5-day flooding beginning Tuesday, July 16 and ending July 20, 2024. The States for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, said the identified locations and their environs would likely witness heavy rainfall that may lead to flood within the prediction period. Governor Abba Yusuf has approved the appointment of 3 second-class areas of Rano, Gaya, and Karaye with immediate effect. The governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Tofa, stated that the new emirates are to serve as second, with Kano as the first-class emirate. Yusuf named the newly appointed Alhaji Muhammad Karaye as the emir of Karaye. He was the district head of Rago before his latest appointment. Muhammad Umar was named as the emir of Rano. He was the district head of Bokoro prior to the latest appointment. The Nigeria Labour Congress has threatened to shut down the country for a month in protest against plans by the National Assembly to deregulate the national minimum wage. NLC President Joe Ajaero declared the position of the union while speaking on the sidelines of the 67th Nigeria Employers Consultative Association annual general meeting in Lagos. NLC's threat came as the nation awaits a new national minimum wage following months of negotiations between Labour, the federal government, and the organized private sector. No fewer than 13 states have fixed dates for local government elections in the aftermath of last Thursday's Supreme Court judgment, which prohibited federal allocation to council administered by caretaker committees. The states that have commenced council poll preparations include Kaduna, Kogi, Bauchi, Katsina, Osun, Enugu, Benue, Rivers, Jigawa, Imo, Kebbi, Abia, and Anambra states. A federal high court in Abuja today nullified the impeachment of Philip Shaibu as the deputy governor of Edo State. Justice James Omotosho, in a judgment, ordered his reinstatement to the office on the grounds that Edo State House of Assembly failed to comply with due process in the purported impeachment. Justice Omotosho held that the allegation on which the House of Assembly based the impeachment proceedings was untenable in law and did not constitute gross misconduct. The judge, therefore, ordered the Inspector General of Police to provide him with needed security to enable him to resume office and perform the functions of the office until the end of his tenure. The Senate has announced the removal of Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume as Chief Whip. When put to voice vote by a president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, members of the APC Senate caucus endorsed Ndume's removal as Senate Chief Whip during plenary. Ndume was replaced by Tahiru Mangodo. This comes amidst his recent criticisms of President Bola Tinubu's government. In a letter addressed to the Senate caucus by the national leadership of the ruling party, the APC asked Ndume to resign his membership of its party and join any opposition party of his choice. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has upheld the nomination of Dr. Asue Ighodalo as the People's Democratic Party candidate for the 2024 Edo State gubernatorial election. The court's decision, delivered by Justice James Omotosho, dismissed the case filed by Philip Shoaibu, who had challenged Ighodalo's nomination as the PDP's candidate. In its ruling, the court held that Ighodalo was duly nominated during the party's primary election, which was held on February 22, 2024, at the Samuel Ogbamodia Stadium in Benin City. Ighodalo had emerged victorious, securing 577 votes to defeat Shoaibu and 10 other aspirants. The proscribed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB has said the health condition of its leader Nnamdi Kanu is deteriorating, hence the federal government should release him to avert any danger. The pro-Biafran group, in a statement by its spokesman Ima Powerful, today says the federal government is intentionally provoking IPOB by refusing to release its leader even when the courts have ordered his unconditional release. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When News Cycle returns, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay with us.
With every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okere tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point, this is business.
Exciting news! Global Television, your trusted news and current affairs station, will be available on DSTV channel 365 and all multi-choice platforms as from Thursday, 18th July 2024. Stay informed with us wherever you are. Global Television on DSTV channel 365, the pride of the nation.
This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle with Uyag Mofwebe. We appreciate your time with us. Nigeria's Center for Disease Control has raised significant concerns over a significant increase in other endemic-prone diseases such as Lassa fever, meningitis, and yellow fever. Director General of the Center for Disease Control, Dr. Jide Idris, made this known while briefing journalists on the recent outbreak of cholera in Abuja. Queen Agaba of Global Television now brings us details.
Following the rainy season, no fewer than 103 persons have died as a result of the current cholera outbreak, which has so far recorded 3,623 suspected cases in 187 local government areas across 34 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Jide Idris, while updating newsmen on the cholera outbreak situation, prevention and response efforts at the national and sub-national levels, raised concerns over underreporting of the situation due to inadequate resources to support surveillance and disease detection activities at the sub-national level.
Although almost all the states in Nigeria have reported cases of cholera now, there appears to be an underreporting of the situation, as required data from the states are not coming real time as expected, given the trend in previous years. This is largely due to inadequate resources, though that's what they say at the state level, inadequate resources to support surveillance and disease detection activities at the sub-national level.
The Director General further rules out that there was 5.6% decline in the number of cases in the reporting week 8 to 14th July compared to the preceding week, and a drop in the case fatality rate from 2.9% to 2.8%.
We also recorded a drop in case fatality rate from 2.9 to 2.8. Definitely there is a decline in case fatality rate from week 24 when we notified the public when we saw that spike to the present week. There's a slight decrease in case fatality rate.
Dr. Jide Idris, Director General NCDC. While acknowledging the tireless efforts of stakeholders, MDAs, healthcare workers, and community leaders in responding to the outbreak, the NCDC called for state government to prioritize actions that ensure access to safe water and proper hygiene practices in communities. For Global Television, Queen.
Thank you, Queen Agaba, for that reporting there. Question foreign scene now. The United Kingdom's new Labour government has vowed to axe any 100 hereditary lawmakers from the House of Lords in what it called the first step ahead of wider reforms of Parliament's unelected upper chamber. Measures to modernize the constitution, it says, will be introduced, including House of Lords reform to remove the right of hereditary peers to seats and votes in the Lords. King Charles III has outlined Labour's first program for government in 15 years with promises of economic stability and tougher action on irregular migration to improve relations with Europe sourced by Brexit. Despite its name, the address, which marks the official start of the new parliamentary session, is not written by the monarch as head of the state, but by the government. It was centre-left Labour's first such speech since it was last in power in 2010. Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, Michael Freeman, has said that Israel is open to partnering with the federal government and the private sector in areas that benefit both countries. He said this was part of his country's efforts to eradicate poverty and insecurity in the world. Freeman, who was represented by the Council of Israel in Nigeria, Imber Lipman-Carden, spoke at the Nigeria-Israeli Business Forum's annual general meeting in the country's capital, Abuja. European politicians and diplomats have already prepared for changes to their relationship with the U.S. in the event of a second Donald Trump presidency, now that the Republican candidate has chosen Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his running mate. Those differences appear even starker in prospects for the war in Ukraine, security, and trade. A vocal critic of the U.S. aid to Ukraine, Vance told this year's Munich Security Conference that Europe should wake up to the U.S. having to pivot its focus to East Asia. Lawmakers in Guinea are on strike to protest a crackdown on dissent by the military regime. Yesterday, the country's Bar Association denounced what it described as arbitrary arrests and secret detention of citizens. Lawyers would boycott court sessions until 31 July. Court activities are said to be paralyzed by the strike, which could disrupt a landmark trial over a 2009 massacre that is regarded as one of the darkest moments in the West African nation's history. In auto business, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has projected 3% growth for Nigeria in 2025, though this is a lower than 3.1% growth projection for the country in 2024. IMF's latest World Economic Outlook indicates that it is higher than growth estimates of most emerging markets. While South Africa's growth in 2025 is projected at 1.2% from 0.9% this year, Brazil's stands at 2.4% growth from 2.1% in 2024. The president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, says his business's $30 billion revenue target by the end of 2025 will boost the Naira. Dangote made this known during a tour of East Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals and Dangote Fertilizer Limited by media executives, indicating a plan to maintain independence from the Central Bank of Nigeria in foreign exchange sourcing. According to him, the expected significant inflow of forex into Nigeria through his businesses will automatically boost the value of the country's local currency and make the naira a gain in value in the Committee of International Currencies worldwide. Experts have expressed concerns that the decision of the federal government to throw open the nation's borders to allow food importation will affect private investments in the agricultural sector. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, revealed at a press conference in Abuja that the 150-day duty-free import window for commodities such as maize, husked brown rice, wheat, and cowpeas is part of the implementation of the newly launched Presidential Accelerated Stabilization and Advancement Plan. Mason Greenwood is due to have a medical before completing permanent move from Manchester United to Arsenal. Sources have said that forward Greenwood has agreed to personal terms with a fee, including add-ons of more than 30 million euros in place around a contract that will run to 2029. And that's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using the Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Muyi Agmofwe. We're saying a big thank you to you for watching. Coming up at top of the hour is Big Talk with Edikon Michael. Do stay with Global Television.